Happy Wednesday, everyone. We have a birthday today. Happy birthday, Jennifer Finley. We're going to have some fun today with a little bit of overhead work. But before we get to that stuff, let's talk about our warm-up and get you guys ready to go. We're going to start off our day with an Inchworm Side Plank for 3 to 5 reps, Quad Plank for 3 at 10 seconds, Floor Pike Hold for 3 at 15 to 20 second hold, and then PVC Prone Raise 3 at 10 seconds, finishing off with some leg arm extensions, or 5 to 10 reps there. So lots of upper body, a little bit of core work, just kind of fire things up, get those shoulders ready for action, and then we're going to move down into a little bit more heart rate, kind of some dynamic work, getting those legs ready. So what we have in the bottom piece here, we have a dumbbell front rack march for 30 seconds. We'll talk about that. Front scale raise for 5 aside, lateral ski jump for 20 seconds, just steady state jumping. Ankle pop for 10, that was hard to say. In and out hops. There we go. 10 seconds, and then we finish off with a little bit of shoulder pressing with an eccentric to get you prepped for the workout. 5 to 7 reps of the shoulder press with a 3-second lower on each rep. Hit that 3 to 5 times, getting yourself fired up, feeling the dumbbell load that you're going to use for the workout, and getting those legs fired up for what's to come. Because what's to come is a wall run of 2 minutes, accumulation of 2 minutes, or cardio of your choice. I'll have some options there for the bottom depending on what we have access to. Into our dumbbell shoulder press for 20 reps, wall run for 90 seconds, accumulation, dumbbell shoulder press for 15, wall run for 60 seconds, and dumbbell shoulder press for 10. So then you're finished. So we have a nice little wall run or cardio sandwich with some shoulder pressing and some good overhead stability work. So it should be a good time. Though shoulder press may get a little spicy, you should have a load hopefully that you can use and get at least 5 to 10 reps at a time so we can work that good strict press. Let's get you warmed up, fired up, ready for action. All right, guys, let's get you guys fired up, warmed up a little bit. Let's get those feet underneath those hips. We're going to take the arms up big and tall. Just going to give ourselves a little shrug. And then we're going to kind of come back down. We're going to bring the hands back behind the neck. And we're going to walk the scapula. So we'll pull the ribs in, press an elbow up, come back down, press an elbow up, back down, and up, back down, other side, up, and down, up, down. One more time. Bring it up and bring it back down. We'll take the arms big and tall. We're going to shrug. Come back down, scratch your back, and then we're going to reach through that side body. Nice long stretch. Come back up, scratch your back again, reach, and come back up again. Big stretch. Forward fold. Touch those toes. We're going to lock up those shins. Nice flat back. We'll come down, frame the foot, step it into that nice lizard. Nice and square in those hips. We'll just take that inside hand all the way up. We're going to rotate that arm to the floor. We'll come back up. We'll bend to the 90. Reach straight ahead. Pull back. Opening to the side. Reach straight ahead. Pull back. Reach straight ahead. And pull back. Reach way up. And rotate to the forearm to the floor. Big stretch up to the sky. We'll plant the hand. Outside hand, big stretch up, and plant that hand down. We'll set ourselves up in that plank, tight and strong. We'll step the other foot up, nice and square in those hips. Inside hand, reach, rotate, forearm to the floor, back up, bend to 90, reach straight ahead, pull back, reach straight ahead, pull back, and reach straight ahead, pull back, reach up. Rotate, forearm to the floor, back up, plant the hand, step back into our plank, tiptoe those feet all the way up, roll ourselves up, big stretch. Good, we'll bring our hands down. Woo. Let's get you guys fired up and ready to go. So if you'd like to do a little bit more gentle warm-up, maybe some wrist work, some cat-cows, some thread the needles, whatever it happens to be, please pause the video, take that down for yourself. Get yourself ready, do what you need to do. I'm going to move forward into this next phase of work, coming at you with that Inchworm Side Plank. So I'm going to kind of come over here. I'm going to work through 2 reps, one of which is supported and one of which unsupported. So first things first, I can either start by taking the arms up to give myself a little extra shoulder love. I hinge at those hips, walk my hands out into my plank. I'm going to establish my full solid plank. So pulling my ribs in, pressing my shoulders through. If I have trouble with the side plank, I can lower the knee down, turn the toe, and then open through that nice side position. I come back down after I've held for a moment, establishing that good plank. I'll lower the knee, take it to the side, open up to the side, and then come back down, establish the good plank, walk my hands back in, and then roll tall, big stretch. Or, I'm going to take that hand down to the floor, walk my hands out into my plank. Again, establish the plank, pressing through the shoulders, rotating open into that nice unsupported side plank for a beat, showing control, hit my position, other side, open, showing control, hit my plank, and walk my hands back in, and take it up nice and tall. Alright, so two variations there for you guys. We have a supported, dropping the knee down so I can get that nice open, or unsupported, all the while making sure that I'm starting my side planks or starting to enter my side planks with a good, strong plank established. So very, very important. Make sure the core and the shoulders are active before we start shifting to that side. From there, we're going to move into our quad plank. We haven't done this for a little while, but what we're going to do, set up in our tabletop. Hands are going to be under the shoulders, knees under those hips, toes curled under. I'm going to pull my ribs and hips in, press through my shoulders. I'm going to lift my knees about an inch off the floor, and I'm going to pull everything into my center line. So I'm actively pulling everything in. My hands aren't moving, my feet aren't moving, but I'm pulling them into that center line, creating that nice tight hollow position. You might find that you kind of get a little shake going. That's okay. All right, focus on pulling everything in, setting that position well. We'll have 3 reps of that. If you need to come down, take a little beat in between, reestablish that position for the next rep, that's fine. So again, we pull the ribs and hips, squeeze my glutes, set the shoulders, lift my knees about an inch, so I'm pulling everything inwards, creating that nice, sturdy quad plank. Knees don't have to come very high, but we're turning ourselves into a little elevated table. After that, we're going to stay in that tabletop, but we're going to bring our knees and feet together. I'm going to establish that good shoulder position with the core, gripping the floor tight. And here, I'm going to lift my hips straight up, keeping my shoulders over top of my hands. If I need to, or would like to, I can walk my feet in a little bit. I'm going to hold that floor pike hold. So as I'm in that pike position, I'm pressing my shoulders towards the ceiling, or sorry, towards the floor, I should say. My ears and shoulders come really close together, and I'm staying super tight and active in that core. So I'm pressing through the floor, staying nice and strong, the entire pike hold. So I want to establish a really good tight body position. If you find being in that position challenging, it's okay. It's a tough one, but give yourself a slightly shorter hold so that you can maintain those engagement points if you need to. Once we come down from that floor pike hold, we're going to move into our PVC Prone Raise or laying shoulder raise. So we have this nice position, laying out nice and long, toes are together. I'm going to squeeze my glutes, pull my ribs and hips together, press my armpits down, press my hands down, and that's going to establish a nice tight hollow and a nice tight position. Then I'm going to maintain this position as I lift or try to lift just my arms off the floor as I maintain that nice tight core and that nice strong position. It's okay if you can't quite get those hands very high or those arms off the floor very high. It's hard. Our primary focus is maintaining that tension all the way from the toe up to the chest and the body position, and just working with what we can in terms of height. But the core position, we don't want to lose that as we lift. After that, though, we come back into a position where we can kind of stretch things out a little bit, but we're still working on our core position. I pull my ribs and hips together, my shoulders come back, and I'm going to keep my arms straight as I lift my arms up, and then come back down. Arms stay straight, lifting them up, and lifting them, pressing them down. I want to make sure that the shoulder is in that position when we do our humeral glide. We pull back. We want to keep that shoulder in that back position not allowing it to dump forward. So we want to keep it back and pull it solid the whole time I lift my arm in that position. So take your time, set those positions up before you go, and then you'll be rocking and ready to go. Quick little recap for you guys for that first piece. We have our inchworm side plank, 3 to 5, quad plank for 3 at 10 seconds, into our floor pike hold, 3 to 15 to 20 seconds, PVC prone raise or shoulder raise in that prone position, 3 at 10 seconds, laying arm extension, 5 to 10 reps. Taking your time again, set those positions, focus on your core, and have some fun with that. It's going to get the heat going inside and getting those shoulders ready for what's to come. 2 to 3 rounds. Take that down, pause the video. I'm going to move into that more dynamic phase of work and get you guys ready to go and get that heart rate up a little bit more. Which we start off with that dumbbell front rack march. So I am going to clean the dumbbells up. I'm going to hold them in that good strong front rack. And all I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to work on picking up my knees in that nice high knee march. So I'm just stabilizing through my shoulders. I'm not letting the upper body and the dumbbell move too much. So I'm trying to stay as tight as I can up there and just moving in that nice high knee position. Just standing in place, working on that for 30 seconds. Or sorry, 30 seconds. Just kind of firing up those quads and hips, while still maintaining and strengthening that rack position. If I don't have 2 dumbbells at home, I can do that with a goblet position, or I can hold it in this kind of hugged position, pressing it against my shoulders as I pull my hands back into my body. So I can do either one. Keep that in mind, play, have some fun with it, depending on what kind of loading you have too. That might depend on where you hold the dumbbell. After that, we're going to work on some balance, and we're going to go right into this from the march, which is going to be kind of tough on the quads, but we're going to get ourselves set up in our good stand position, picking your favorite foot, finding your balance, and we're going to work that front scale to the best of our abilities for 5 per side. Something to keep in mind when we're doing this front scale is that we want to keep this back leg nice and straight, nice and strong, and as we lift our leg, fighting the urge to allow it to buckle. So we need to keep that leg straight and active as we lift. Usually when that leg buckles, it's because we're trying to either use momentum to get the leg up, or we're going too high, or we're just getting it to a point where we're just like, yeah, we go a little bit too high, and that hamstring or leg has nowhere else to go except to buckle to let that leg go up there. So just work to your edge, take your time, work for control, and that will take care of itself. All right? After that, we're going to do some jumping. Lateral ski jumps for 20 seconds. So we have a couple options here. I'm going to set up, I'm going to load my leg, I'll use my arms and my body to get that body moving across in that lateral ski. All right, if just working on controlling that lateral energy, pausing for a brief moment to return to the other side. If you're not a jumper, we can work on that big step, and I have that big lateral step. I can still use my arms, but I'm not leaving the ground. I'm not bounding over to the other side of the room. So you can work on that nice swing step, and you can still teach yourself and practice the art of using that momentum and using what you got to generate power. After that, we're going to stay in one place. We're going to work the ankle pop for 10 seconds. So we're going to get ourselves moving and just working on kind of waking up those ankles just a little bit, keeping our core tight, our glutes tight, our hands relaxed, and our shoulders relaxed. So we can work on just waking up the knees and the ankles a bit, allowing them to practice that rebound. Right after the 10 seconds of ankle pops, we're going to move right into our in-out hops or steps. So we go from here to here, just working on our footwork, working on a little bit of straddle jumping, or working on some steps. So making sure we got our footwork going on, we can speed them up, we can keep it at a pretty happy rhythm. It's up to you on where you want to go with that and how comfortable you are with the footwork. But it's going to get the heart rate up, get the legs kind of jacked up, a little bit warm, and get those ankles ready for what's to come. After that, we're going to take a moment. Once we're breathing a little heavy, we're going to clean up our dumbbells up to the shoulders, and we're going to work on some dumbbell shoulder press. So again, I have 2 dumbbells right now. You can practice with 1, 2, whatever you'd like. We're going to squeeze the glutes, ribs. We're going to press the dumbbell straight up, and then we're going to lower down. 3, 2, 1. Take a breath, big press, 3, 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna work that nice, smooth, eccentric of 3 seconds down to warm up the shoulders a bit. So again, tightening to the glutes, pulling my ribs in so I'm standing tall and strong. I press the dumbbells up so I get that good overhead position. Arms slightly behind the ears if I can, or even with the ears, and then pulling them down with that nice 3-second control to that rack position. So taking my time with that, just finding my loading. If I have different loads at home to practice with, I can take that and kind of build throughout my rounds. All right, just getting the feel of those shoulder press, you're gonna feel like when you're a little fatigued from all that jumping and footwork. Quick recap on that, you guys. We have a dumbbell front rack march, or a goblet march, or that nice standing march, 30 seconds. Front scale raise for 5 per side. Lateral ski jump for 20 seconds, just nice and smooth. Into your ankle pop for 10 seconds, and your in-out hops or in-out steps. That sequence of jumps should be trying to do kind of pretty steady back to back to back, so you can kind of build that fatigue as you go in that heat. And then if you need to take a moment before your shoulder press, you're more than welcome to, or use that fatigue to hit that shoulder press with a little higher heart rate. So again, you're gonna feel what it's gonna feel like in the workout. Pause the video, take that down, 3 to 5 rounds, see how it is, take her down and have some fun with it. And then we're gonna move into our work set today. So happy birthday, Jen. We have a wall run at 2 minutes accumulation. So that means if you have to take a break, your timer stops. You're gonna accumulate 2 minutes in that wall run. All right, and then once you've accumulated 2 minutes, you're done. You'll go pick up your your dumbbells, and you'll rock your shoulder press for 20. Then you'll move back to the wall run, accumulate 90 seconds into your dumbbell shoulder press for 15, and then you'll go back to the wall run 60 seconds accumulative, dumbbell shoulder press for 10. So the dumbbell press and the wall run go down in volume for each rep, but that doesn't mean it's gonna get much easier. It's just gonna get a little faster to get onto that next phase. So have fun with this one, you guys. I'll have some other cardio options underneath depending on what you have access to at home. All right, so keep that in mind. I'll have those options for you. You can make it yours, have fun. If you have heavy dumbbells at home and you can't quite shoulder press them, you can work that push press. So please keep that in mind as well. You have that option, and we're gonna enjoy this one, you guys. It's gonna be a little burner, all right? So work for quality, you guys. Have fun today. Enjoy your Wednesday. Happy birthday, Jen. I hope you have a fantastic day today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, you guys.